in Avalon's fair town, home to the brave and renowned. There did I meet a band truly blessed. They marched to their quest, bringing panic to rest. Evermeadow has got its brave heroes. Brave heroes, brave heroes. Evermeadow has got its brave heroes.
Even in mourning, there's no question that these heroes can light a room with their infectious spirits. We have all been dealt a rough hand lately, yet the merriment shared by my best patrons helped us escape the gloom for but a moment longer. There's no question that I have to serve them my finest meats that I recently procured from a hunter who's traveled as far as Tabuga itself to bring one of the rarest creatures to be seen, a dingodile. And she certainly likes to make a name for herself, for she bagged a tour lamb on her return trip as well, all freshly preserved. From what I hear, she's become a renowned hunter born in the wild bluffs, where her skills built a reputation that spread across the seas. Nomads, these folks are, and travel was no stranger to this beastmaster. So when she got a so-called prestigious invitation to join the, what was the name of those folks again? The Bushwhackers, that's it, Bushwhackers. Seems she didn't quite know what she was getting into by pledging herself to their leader. Quick draw something or other. The point is, it was a terrible lot. I heard that Dolly Village in Tabuga hasn't been the same since her squadron came around. But whatever they may operate under, free time is something abundant for certain members, her being no exception. And through a weary stroll through the jungle, did she encounter the dingodile. Razor-sharp teeth and claws just the same, with the strength to make an ox cower and the speed to make a failness hound worry. Well, this was no time to be sitting on your arse, mind you. She took a firm hold of her spear and launched herself back just in time to avoid the mighty beast's starting gambit, yet he would not get to make a second attempt. That's right, heroes! She chucked it straight and through, she did! Betwixt the eyes into its lizard brain doth the metal drain its fluids upon the jungle's mud. Had she hesitated for even a moment, you lot would be eating potatoes and me old cow Bessie's finest cuts that you would. So, with its body gorged upon, the heroes went up for the night for a bit of a romp and a rest, while Santara challenged the Freeze to a final drinking contest. And by Seamus's shaft, they chugged and chugged until there was no question. Santara won the first challenge, but I'm sure there will be many more to come. The lad fancies the drink, he does. This shall spur on the next night's entertainment when they reside here next. I hope they go visit me brother Mick at the Boar's Balls Inn for some potential drinking contests he hosts on the regular. Ha! With your offerings, my dear crusaders, you have brought forth Mortimer, the god of famine, to hold a meeting with the absolute epitome of kings in existence. The one who even my master fears for what you've done to his eye, the great Leonari Evermeadow. You're an absolute hero in my eyes, and damn strong with that arm, your majesty. Hail and well met, your divinity.
Leonari, please, let's get this on the table right away. I do not need you to be so formal and give such reverence. I am Mortimer McHale. I was born to this land much like you, and we both want the same things, I assure you.
Pray tell, how do you figure?
Well, the way I see it, we both wish to see Asmodeus put to an end. We both want this beautiful land to flourish. We want prosperity and happiness spread throughout the land.
All right, Mortimer. I can see how you were able to enlist these heroes under your contract. You certainly are a sweet talker. But you are not mistaken. These are all things I do desire greatly.
Who wouldn't? Leonari, there is not one person in this kingdom that isn't enlisted in the Sons of Asmodeus that does not love this land with absolute pride.
Hold on, stay thy tongue! What madness do you speak of?
Ah, I see you haven't been brought up to speed in this timeline yet. Pardon me, dear and righteous king, for being the bearer of bad news. But your arch-enemy sent some of his most devout cultists in the guise of guards and informants and town criers to shield your honest heart from a terrible truth.
I beg of thee, Mortimer, I know not how much more bad news I can handle at this time. I am in my most desperate and humbled moment of my life. Even when the brave men and women of Evermeadow made the charge against the Devil's Hell March from Mount Ultima, not one of us fell at their evil hands. This is a new low for me. Please speak plainly and true.
Leonari, Castletown has been compromised for years.
No.
Oh yes. The Sons of Asmodeus have kept you from knowing what has befell of your great cities and towns. And that, dear king, is high corruption and social unrest in the lands of which you rightly reign over.
Dear gods, you mean that I have failed my kingdom?
Calm now. You know it has not been your fault. I dare you to tell me of literally any other king in all of Planet Alima's history that does not take his position for granted, that works side by side with his followers, that does not claim to be a king, but was appointed by his peers and his loved ones, who would break bread with any and all people, great or small. You are not your grace because you are royal. You are your grace because grace and kindness are you!
I would not blaspheme by denying what you say, though that does not change the fact that...
Enough! You have done far beyond the expectations any could have for someone who was purposely sabotaged by your rival, who happens to be a god, one that you and I wish to smite from the record books.
That is where I must rebuke you, friend, for you are correct. Asmodeus is a god of evil and sinister intentions. He corrupts and manipulates the good people of this land and seeks to settle the score with me. But I do not crave his death. Nay, I take no pride in what must be done. But Asmodeus shows no signs of stopping his machinations, and I can't let my people suffer any longer. Evermeadow, nay, Planet Alima must be rid of the devil. We must destroy that which is evil, so that what is good may flourish.
And there it is! That's the kind of sovereign I expect out of you! It is I, a god before an immortal, brought to my knees, begging my ally in arms to please make a deal with me. I know what you desire, King of Kings. You wish those who perished in the recent war to return to their loved ones.
Absolutely, but can it be done?
Oh, Leo, you think so little of me? I don't wish to offend you, but aside Asmodeus, I am the strongest god there is, or ever will be. This power I hold is almighty, though sadly, there are some limitations upon it. For the time being, anyways.
What would you ask of me, god of the apocalypse?
Here's the deal, King. I don't want your soul. You are far too important a person who I hold in great respects as an equal. Though my resistance against the Red Bastard is named the same as the power I wield, the Withering. This Withering, in particular, is the name of the devoted in service or contract to me that will erase Asmodeus and his forces once and for all. But the true Withering is a ritual of the highest importance, which steps must be accomplished by mortal kind to usher it in.
And pray tell, what would this true Withering entail?
Oh, it's not gonna be pretty. But even I do not know what entirely shall happen once it begins. For it seems my other self has forbidden me from knowing this knowledge until enacted.
I absolutely have no idea what you're saying to me! Will the world return to how it once was? Minus one god?
That's a way of putting it, yes. For rest assured, I will do everything in my power to right the wrongs. This I swear to you.
And what if I were to call upon the other divines for aid instead?
Oh, you wouldn't hurt my feelings. For you see, no matter what happens, I win. Either I die and it's no longer my problem, I slay Asmodeus and bring about the world free of problems, or Asmodeus is slain by the heroes and the other divines. I foresee no complications with this, except, of course, that my withering flame is the only thing that can entirely dissipate a soul, and we are talking about slaying a god that has consumed thousands of gods and an unaccountable amount of souls from the great creator himself.
No! Hey! Say it isn't so! Dear Bahamut, please reach me in this time of need!
Calm thyself. There is still more you are unaware of. In fact, I have had a revelation in recent times as well. Did you not find it strange that you still held divine power, along with your son and your paladins when close to said prince?
What are you trying to say?
You see, I've had a long history with these burning crusaders you see before you. Starting with Dame Cor and Sir Sunny offering their souls to me in order to rescue Prince Valadius. His death and his soul's imprisonment left Bahamut weak and wounded for many years, yet still connected to him, and that's where I come in. When I used my powers to resurrect the lad, it was quite monumental to achieve, and I'm sure given the chance, feeling that there was a chance to save his most precious champion, it's become clear to me that he gave what divinity he had and upwards of strength to allow one of the two to carry on. Leonari, it's my expert opinion that Valadius holds the dormant powers of a god in his own body, and more so, there is an answer we must seek. Well, that's distressing. It seems the answers we seek seem to lie in Vulcanir, the very place we
were just slaughtered by. This is all too much, Mortimer. I cannot let my old friend suffer if he is still alive somewhere.
It's hard to say. I am unsure if he does live. But we must find that answer.
Tell me, what must I give? My world is becoming an inferno before my eyes, and I am sinking deeper in despair, especially knowing that I cannot leave this kingdom.
It's going to be alright, King. Here's what needs to happen. Firstly, my crusaders must solve this world's problems as they see fit, whatever morality they claim. And that's a divine order. For amongst all the things I am also a god of redemption. Once I am free of my contract, I can free so many others of their bonds and their sins. Secondly, they must set in motion the true withering, which will first start with having several holy lands holding reverence for myself, and somewhere on Evermetal's surface, they must construct a deep pit that will host my withering flames.
You would defile the land we are fighting so hard to save?
I would save the land we are fighting for by purifying it in righteous fire. More importantly, this will be my most sacred place on planet Olima, where offerings and tributes and sacrifices must be made to increase my strength. And oh yes, there will be blood. Thirdly, there are many towns that your map makers are unaware of, hiding places of demons and scum of the earth that must be disposed of before they can conjure surprise attacks and overcome your people's homes. Fourth, once my champions are prepared, They must venture forth into the lands of the other horsemen's domains and deal with their inhabitants so that we can take Asmodeus' forces from right under him. Darkhaven, the realm of death. Vulcania, the realm of war. And Paroxysmal, the realm of pestilence and conquest. And fifth, unless I'm missing something, of course, I need to have my contract broken. For the great creator gave Asmodeus the power of the deal. With his guile and charm, along with influence, he can tempt even the strongest to sign his contracts. But with this knowledge, the creator conjured artifacts known as the Devil's Loopholes, objects that can break any deal made with Asmodeus, but he was able to compromise a limited amount to be made.
And let me guess, he has made sure they've all vanished by this point. All except one last one. Exactly. It's on the material plane. That was one of the requirements. But I know not where. I see. I suppose it's the only chance we have. And is freeing you truly the wisest thing for me to do? I've always been able to sense the truth in beings, and I know you mean what you say. But what's stopping you from turning on mortal kind?
Faith, dear king. Believe in me, as I have always believed in you. Aid the heroes when they ask of you, for divinity is difficult to achieve without an abundance of faith. And when Act 2 has been completed, I shall return your slain back to you from Dust's terrible fury. As well, unless your populace wishes to convert to the Withering, Volodius should stay in Castletown so Bahamut's followers can still gain strength from the Holy Prince.
Mortimer Mikhail, you have a deal.
Pleasure doing business with you, Leonari Evermeadow. And did I hear that you have a home set up for my precious children?
Oh, yes. The finest in the kingdom shall be available to them for their activities, with plenty of room to grow. I'm proud to call these heroes my family.
I feel the same way, my king. By that extension, you belong to mine as well. I must return to my realm, but it was a pleasure to see you all again. Good luck on your travels to the Wild Bluffs!